Nikki Haley has done it. Nikki Haley has surged from behind Ron DeSantis and is now in a statistical tie for second place with DeSantis. This is so fascinating because the numbers were so dramatically different. Now, officially, we now have DeSantis 12.6, Haley 12.1. This is a half a point aggregate difference. It is a statistical tie. And what you will see sort of in the middle bottom of this chart that we have up on the screen, Ron DeSantis is the green line down the middle of the screen, and Nikki Haley is the red line, which has surged to meet DeSantis. On the one hand, neither seems to have a shot at defeating Donald Trump, who is now officially polling over 60%. Among Republican voters, 6 out of 10 say I'm going to vote Trump. The other 4 out of 10 are divided up between the other candidates, mostly DeSantis and Haley. Ramaswamy's dead. Christie never had a shot. Okay. What does this tell us about the dynamics of the Republican primary? It tells us that if Donald Trump were to die, Nikki Haley would be very well positioned to be the nominee. And the reinforcing evidence of this is, number one, momentum. DeSantis's momentum is clearly down. Just wait until you see his town hall on CNN from last night. You'll understand why this guy is losing. And Nikki Haley's momentum is clearly up. But there's another aspect to this, which is that not all of the Republican primaries happen on the same day. And so if we look at the dynamics within these early Republican primaries, you see that in Iowa, Ron DeSantis is still in second place, but Nikki Haley is ever closer, and now is within just 4 points of Ron DeSantis. I believe Nikki Haley will overperform in Iowa. By the time the Iowa caucus comes around, my prediction is Nikki Haley ends up in second place there. We then would go to the New Hampshire primary. In the New Hampshire primary, Nikki Haley is already in a very solid second place. DeSantis isn't even in third place. He's down in fourth, basically in a two-way tie with Vivek Ramaswamy. Nikki Haley has gone from, where was she? 3 up to 14, now up to 19. If she does well in Iowa, Nikki Haley will probably end up with 20-something in New Hampshire. Again, a strong second place. We then would go to South Carolina. South Carolina is Nikki Haley's home state. She was governor of South Carolina. She is already very strongly polling in second place there with double the support of DeSantis. She's got 20. DeSantis has 11. If she does well in Iowa, if she does well in New Hampshire, I can only imagine she will overperform in her home state of South Carolina. Will she defeat Trump in any of these states? It certainly doesn't look like it, but she will be in a strong second place. And then we would go to Nevada. We don't have, the polling is more than 2 months old there. So we continue to have really no idea what's going on there. DeSantis was winning in late September. I don't know what's going on now. My guess would be Haley is doing better than 6. So we do not have a path for anybody to the Republican nomination other than Trump, unless Trump dies. But it is becoming abundantly clear that the non-Trump element of the Republican Party is coalescing around Nikki Haley. There are major donors who were donating to DeSantis and have stopped because he's got loser written all over him. There were major donors who opted not to get involved yet. They wanted to see how it would shake out. Anti-Trump Republicans who are now saying, I'm going to get behind Nikki Haley. Is Nikki Haley a saner choice than Trump or DeSantis? Absolutely. Is she sane in the way that Chris Christie is sane? I would argue certainly not. And if I were voting in the Republican primary as a progressive, I would still be saying Chris Christie's the guy that I would say is going to do the least damage as president. The dynamics continue to be DeSantis failing, Nikki rising, Vivek dead in the water with more than 60% support behind Donald Trump. Why are they so committed to Trump? There are 4 or 5 different answers to that, all of which we've discussed in the last few months. Will anything change other than a Trump death that could shake up this primary? Really hard to imagine. We have new polling that says most Republicans who currently support Trump would still support the guy, even if he was convicted of a felony. And so I'm not seeing any data, and I'm primarily data driven with let's put the sniff test on it as well. I'm not seeing any data that suggests anything short of Trump dying or becoming incapacitated would prevent him from getting the nomination. That's where I am today. If you have a different perspective, I want to hear from you. Later in the show, actually in the voicemail segment, we will get to why am I not sounding the alarm about Joe Biden to a greater degree than I have. We'll deal with that later. We'll take a quick break and be right back. 30 million trees are destroyed every year for toilet paper in the U.S. alone. So toilet paper is a big contributor to deforestation and climate change. Our sponsor, Real Paper, makes toilet paper from bamboo. Bamboo plants keep growing, which means no deforestation. Bamboo also absorbs 5 times as much carbon from the atmosphere as pine trees. And bamboo toilet paper is stronger than regular toilet paper and even softer. So bamboo toilet paper is all around a win for you and for the environment. It's time to move on from that toilet paper from trees that you're using at home. When you use Real Paper, it doesn't feel like you're sacrificing anything. It's soft and fluffy, and they'll ship it to your door in plastic-free packaging on a schedule. Super easy. With every box of Real Paper you buy, they are funding reforestation efforts across the country through their partnership with One Tree Planted. So unlike the toilet paper that cuts down trees, Real is helping to actively plant them. Go to realpaper.com/Pacman and use code Pacman for 30% off your first order and free shipping. The link is down below.